Alright. I feel much better. That was like perfect timing, honestly. I just finished dinner and boy, I really needed that actually. I probably just needed like real food, even if I didn't feel hungry. I probably just needed to eat food too. Funny how that works. Funny how that works. Honestly, though, that's perfect timing because now I feel much more much more prepared to actually do some drawing. So we're just gonna keep on doing what I've been doing. I don't think I'm gonna change the style much. I've been liking the weird kind of like colored pencil thing I've been doing for a while now, and we've got more dinosaurs to draw. I found another one. These sons of bitches keep on coming out of the ground. And we've got a new one that I only just heard of last year, which was formally described last year, called. Oh boy. At least, okay, so I was telling somebody about this, and it turns out that it was not, in fact, and this was an error on my part, it is not Chinese. It's actually, this is a dinosaur from America. It's from the Hell Creek Formation in Colorado. I think it's Colorado. But it's called Eon Ephron. Eon Ephron. Eon Ephron? Eopphron. I feel like they're just trying to make them hard to pronounce at this point, and that's coming from me. I feel pretty confident in my ability to say dinosaur names. Ah, shit. Somebody beat me to it. This was the, well, this wasn't the exact idea I had, but I just saw over to the side that somebody drew a comparison for height of, and I was thinking about doing that too. What's funny is the article I found that helped me because I was like I couldn't remember the name. I knew it was an oviraptor, and I knew it was found last year. And the first article I could find, I should have kept it. The only information I was like, whoa, is this all you could tell me? Uh, yeah, at first I put in new oviraptor 2024. And the first thing from Eureka Alert, the title of the article is without nowhere I could find it. By the way, they don't say the name of the dinosaur anywhere. They say that it's an oviraptorosaur, Dinosauria theropoda. They don't say the name of the dinosaur anywhere in this like article synopsis. And the title is New Oviraptor Dinosaur from the U.S. Hell Creek Formation lived at the end of the age of the dinosaurs and weighed about as much as an average woman. I don't, I don't know why. That's not good science, but it's funny to me. It's just so oddly specific. Okay. I mean, sure, fair, I guess. I don't know why. But nowhere on here. It doesn't say the name of the dinosaur. It just says an oviraptor. Man, it's people. Come on, man. You do better. You could say like a. Honestly, they say that, and I'm like, you could just say like even an average human being. I think it probably makes sense. About an yeah. An average petite human being. What about that? An average adult petite human being. That probably would have at least been more general. Either way, I'm excited. They're called Eonnephron. Eonnephron. Eonnephron? Eonneophron. Neophron. Eoneophron. I need to see the freaking phonetic sound of Mitch out. Where's the? That's nothing. Your name can't mean Don Neophron. What the fuck is a Neophron? I guess it's Eo Neophron. Eo Neophron. Oh, a Neophron's a bird. Huh. That's actually kind of cool. Never mind. I've taken it back. I've never heard of a Neophron. Also known as the white scavenger vulture, or the Pharaoh's chicken. Huh. The generic name, Eoneophron, combines the ancient Greek word eos, meaning dawn, with neophron, the generic name of the Egyptian vulture. It has been referred to as the Pharaoh's chicken. Its name was chosen in part to honor the lead author's pet Nile monitor, named Pharaoh. Specific name, Infernalis, is derived from the Latin word for hell, for Hell's Creek. Yeah, that's a pretty common thing. Chicken from hell. Hell's chicken. Well, it's more like Egyptian. It's more like Egyptian chicken from hell. But the thing that blows my mind, and we finally start getting into this, the reason why I'm like, what a weird thing we found, is because as far as I knew, me? Oh shit, I did a bad size. Here, hold on, let me resize this. As far as I knew, when it came to most oviraptors I only knew from, like, China. I mean, most famously, oviraptors from Mongolia. That's where they found the first oviraptor remains. And I did not know that there were American oviraptors. I did not. Until fairly recently. And I was like, oh my god, I did not know. I thought they were just a Chinese thing. But, you know, it is weird. Like, I didn't realize that China and America had, that Asia, East Asia and America had a lot of overlap in the Cretaceous, because apparently there was, like, a very brief time where there was a land bridge between essentially, like, Northeast Asia and Northwest America, like where Alaska is. I did not know that was a thing. I actually did not know that. So you had a lot of intercontinental exchanges of some things from each side. That's why you have Asian tyrannosaurs and you have American I had never thought about that. You have American dromaeosaurs and you have American oviraptorans, which I didn't know. But yeah, there's actually a lot of overlap near the end of the Cretaceous between those two, between a lot of phyla, because there was a bridge that connected them, and I didn't know that. It does make me want to kind of read into it more to know which, like, if there was like a period, which I'm sure there was, because this is the way that actual biology works, is there should be signs of which ones went where, because there will be periods of time where you will see them in the fossil record independently before they start mixing in places they're not supposed to be eventually, right? So, like, for example, you have maybe tyrannosaurs from America, you have oviraptors from Asia, then that land bridge happens. That means there should be a period of time before that land bridge where you only find tyrannosaurs in the fossil record in America, you only find oviraptors in Asia, and then after that, when you have the mix, that's when you see them together. That's the way that biology works. It's like, well, actually, no, that's how taphonomy works. That's how paleontology works. That's how you're able to actually tell where you're at in any given period, is if you can. And now there are better fossils for it, obviously. Like obviously the best fossils to use for that are fossils that you can find a lot of very easily, because, you know, it's really hard to judge that kind of stuff. But if you find like something at this time period, and we find something at this time period, until we have some information that would otherwise change it, we should know, based on on the rest of the data that we have and our understanding, for example, the fact that Asia and America were not always connected, you should see the fossil record, the periods of time that you know you're in based on the presence or absence of different animals. It's just one way that you can actually tell where you are in the geological time line, which I've always thought was very, very cool. Like I've always thought that was super dope, that it could work that way. I've always liked Overraptorins, by the way. I thought they were neat. I've always thought they were kind of neat. They've got weird heads. Overraptor in particular, I've always loved its crest. They're dope. They're dope animals. I love them. We're just gonna do it this way. This shows that he has kind of like a shorter tail. Oviraptorins are kind of interesting as far as avian dinosaurs because they would be, I believe they would be considered avian dinosaurs. I believe. And then yep. I did not know that Caudipteryx was higher up. I actually thought about doing Caudipteryx. Oviraptorins and like Gallimidids and stuff are, it's not Gallimidids. What are they called? I know the name of those birds. Struthiomids? That seems wrong. Ornithomimids? Ornithomimids is what I want. I don't know where exactly the deviations are, but I do believe that like ornithomimids and oviraptorids are considered some of the closest dinosaur lineages directly to birds. I believe. If I remember correctly. That's what makes sense to me, anyways. And I did need that break, guys. I feel much, much better. And I did need to take the extra time. I feel much, much better. Now I have some ideas of something I can do different to like, because here's one thing I've been kind of neglecting when it actually comes to um when it comes to uh illustration, specifically science illustration. One of the things that you should be doing in science illustration that you should be keeping up with is having a scale. You want to be able to have scale. And that's something I've been neglecting a little bit. And I don't want to do something as boring as a regular scale, so I have ideas. They mainly have to do with my silliness. And what I want to try to preserve here, I'm going to try this. I think we're going to do kind of like a silly, or a less silly version, but it will be similar. Because I want it to like, I don't want it to be like, and I'm this proportions. I want to make it clear that my proportions are correct, height-wise maybe. But I want them to be simpler overall. And I want to be doing something. I want to be interacting with my dinosaurs. Because I would be interacting with them in real life if I could. My friend made me. Salmon is really good. Really happy about that. I needed it. I was probably being cranky because I was hungry. Certainly was not helping. I should look up, as a placeholder, I should look up Oviraptor. Oviraptor skull. To get a generic look. So that way I know where his eyes are. His eyes, I believe, are gonna be like here-ish. This is a big thing. They've got a big crest. Peak there. Got a pretty big eye. They got a pretty big eye. Hat. I really want to make sure that it's bird-like. Perfect. There we go. I like that. Like I said, I have to use an Oviraptor, because I know we have Oviraptor skulls as a reference, because we don't actually... One of the things... So I believe for this fossil, we did not find... We found... Let's see... What material did we get? Let's see... Eonephrine fossil material was discovered in sediment of the Hell Creek Formation in Meade County, South Dakota. The specimen, which consists of a partial right hind limb, was prepared and initially listed for commercial sale in 2020 for $5,000. Okay, he then donated it to the Carnegie Museum of Natural History. It suggests that the bones belong to a juvenile specimen of Anzu, related dinosaur from the same formation. However, after analyzing histology of the bones, Atkin Weltman and colleagues determined that the individual would have been skeletally mature when it died, based on the observed lines of arrested growth. Wags. The animal was in the 6th year of life when it died. That's so oddly specific, I did not even know we could determine that. In 2024, Atkins Weltman et al. Described Eonephrine infernalis as a new genus and species of Canagnthid oviraptorosaur based on these remains. Yep. Holotype specimen consists of bones from the right leg, including the femur and the tibia, with fused astragalocalionum and metatarsals 3 and 4. So yeah, we've got a leg. That's about it. That's sometimes all you get to work with. Sometimes a leg is all you get to work with. Science is hard, man. And paleontology is particularly hard. You don't get much to work with sometimes. But what I'm gonna do, so that's me, right? I'm gonna do me. I'm going to kind of simplify and exaggerate my features at the same time. So I want it to be clear that you get a sense of what my actual, like, kind of physique and size would be compared to this creature. But I don't want to necessarily draw a human. I want it to still kind of like match my other designs. Yeah, that. And I want it to be simpler. Uh-oh. Ah, beans. Ah, jeez. On the wrong layer. Gotta love that. You know what? You're better off doing this. Do as you merge down. Then I'm going to take this. And that should be about right. It looks like it's about 6 feet tall. So it's actually only, it would only be a little bit taller than I am, which is still pretty fucking tall, honestly. It's a big dinosaur. Big boy. Like an ostrich. Sometimes you forget. Sometimes you forget. Ostriches are fucking big. I forget ostriches are fucking big. I'm gonna try to I'm gonna try to keep up this year a little bit. It's been a while. I will admit I was in a period in my life where I actually really wasn't looking up very much paleontology anything because I just didn't have the time. Not even would say it was like a lack of interest. I would never say I've never not been interested in paleontology, but rather just had a period of time where I felt like I didn't really have much to I didn't have much attention span to look into paleontology much. And this year, I really want to make a concerted effort to change that. Like, I really was not looking into it for a while there. I feel bad. Paleo is something I've always had a genuine interest and passion for, so. There. Funny, I might shrink that down. There. There. Perfect. Because I'm 5'11". And if this is roughly like 5.5 to 6 foot bird, roughly. Ooh, too big. I'm just trying this. I don't know if I'll stick to this style, but I definitely want to do something like this. Want to pet the bird. Me pet the dog. Let me pet that dog. Yeah, that's about right, actually. I think I'm gonna try to do this more. Because again, like, it's important to keep scale, right? And if I'm about 5'11", which I'll make a note of, I think I'll use actual. I would like to know how tall I am compared to any given dinosaur I draw. That'd be fun. I think that'd be a good way to incorporate an element of scale. Because again, scale is actually incredibly important when it comes to science illustration. Like, part of it is giving an element of science illustration as a medium is being able to get a sense of what would any given thing be like. And some of the easiest data, right? Like some of the easiest data to conceptualize is size. And one of the things that science illustration is very good for is being able to illustrate the size and shape of something. But you can't get that size if you do not have something to. You can only get a concept of size if you actually have something to compare it against. If you have nothing to compare it against, that could be any size at all. I'm done. Well, I'm done. There I am. That's me. For scale. Me for scale. Hold on. Me for scale. Just about. That seems about right to me. Because, like, from what I can tell, based on everything else that that the internet has shown me, they're not much bigger than that. Me for scale. Honestly, if they were thinking that this was a younger version of another animal, that means that this is kind of a pretty tame size as far as oviraptorosaurs are. If Anzu is potentially bigger than this, I did not know Anzu was so big. I actually don't know how big Anzu is in comparison. It sounds like it's a pretty big animal. Sounds like it would be pretty large if it's theoretically, if this would be considered like, if they thought this was a juvenile of it. I have no idea how big Anzu would be. Guys, I'll be honest, I did have a moment today where I was really not sure if I was going to do a drawing stream or not. I'm glad that I am now. I feel much better. Had a slight moment, but it's fine. It passed. And I'm glad I'm doing it now. Look at this. Look at this guy. I love it. Dude, I can't wait to start working on the crest too, because the thing that I like about Oviraptors is you can really have fun with that crest, because what could that crest possibly look like if anything but flamboyant, right? Like, there's no way that thing didn't have all sorts of kinds of colors and stuff. So I'm looking forward to texturing it actually a lot. Well, that was heavy. I wonder what that was. What the fuck did my cat just do? Like, he'll violently get on his tree, and I was like, that's violent for him. Trying to imagine where that last toe would go. Hello! In a Kupow? Ah, well, I'll try to say something embarrassing to get you in trouble then. Hello, Silos. Is that embarrassing? I'm trying something different. This will be in the final picture. I'm putting myself in the pictures more, so that way I get a little bit more dinosaur and a little bit more of my actual style. I think if I put me in for scale, I think that would be fun. Or like something. I'm gonna try to do something for scale no matter what. And I'll try to make it something fun. Like if it isn't always me, it'll be something. Like, what if I just put in like a banana? Like, how big would a normal how big is a banana compared to? Here's a banana for scale. Hold on. Oh god damn it, did I do it again? I did it again. Boy, I'm gonna give up on that. I'm gonna wait until the very end before I make these two different layers at this point because I just keep forgetting. Why? On the dinosaur, riding with a cowboy hat. That would be harder for science, and it's probably not big enough. Don't you know? The most important thing is that this dinosaur weighs as much as the average human woman. As to why? The first thing that popped up. Why? I just want to know why it said that. It's not good for me. Banana for scale. It is. Drawing the banana for scale. And thank you. That was really good.
With you.
For scale.
For scale.
Still can't get over. I did finally find it, but this was the one of the. Why is that important?
I don't know. It doesn't say anything about the height of it, but the weight.
Yeah, the weight of an average woman.
What that is, to be honest with you.
I have no idea either.
So what's its name? Where's its...
Eonephron. Which...
Well, that doesn't sound super...
No, that's because it was found in America. That's apparently an Egyptian bird, so it's still not right.
That's fair.
No, that was a bird, honestly.
So are you going to be petting it at the end?
I'm going to try to. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you. It's very good.
Nice. I will be back. I'll be back.
Sweet.
See the progress.
Thank you. Ah, this is a friend. The one who made me dinner. It was very good. Uh-huh. I'll let her know. Thank you. But yeah, it's still... I don't know. I don't know why. It doesn't even say it on the article. That's what gets me, is it doesn't say the name anywhere on the article. At least anywhere on the article synopsis. I think you have to download the article. It might say it somewhere in there. Published January 24th, 2024. It's so weird. Why? That sent me to something, but I still don't know if it says it anywhere. EO. Oh, there it is. So it does at least say it on this article, but it doesn't say it till you get to materials and methods. It doesn't say anything about. Why does it not say the name in the introduction? Materials, methods, results, discussion, conclusion. Phylogenetic, systematic, etymology, locality and horizon, diagnosis. I think it has. They got some histology. I think that was a big part of it. Is they originally thought it was something else, so they had to be like, "Wait a second, this is a different one. Wait a second, this is a different chicken." Not sure how I'm going to do the tail. I definitely want to give it a tail fan. I want to be a little bit more precise with my feathers. I've been pretty just like meh. I've been pretty meh about feathers, and I want to be a little bit better about them. At least want them to be feathers. That's going to be fun to draw. I am trying to get a little bit better about my feathers. I get a little bit lazy sometimes. I feel like it's easy too, especially with feathers, because you like look at them and you're like, I don't want to draw that. Why would I want to draw that? Why would I want to draw that? They're feathers. They're gross. I feel like that's a really big banana. I feel like, or at least bananas these days are not very big. I remember when bananas used to be bigger. I feel like that's a. Would you say that's a standard banana? What if I do an eggplant? What's the average size of an eggplant? Actually, an eggplant would be a good size comparison. We'll do the size of an eggplant. Eggplant for scale. We'll know how big it is based on the size of the eggplant. These are the three. These give you the three senses of scale. You've got dinosaur, me, and eggplant. I think that's the best way to judge the size of anything. I will say, as far as like shapiness so far, I feel like made very good progress. Being able to just bust out certain things pretty quickly these days. Good. I feel like it was something that I struggled with a lot. Like being able to get something on paper quickly, and I've only gotten a little bit faster and a little bit better at it. I haven't hit an upper limit yet, which is good. I dread the day I hit my upper limit, but hopefully by then I'll be like, established. Welcome back. You missed it, Silos. We might do like 2 more Valheim streams because I think I'm done with that game's BS. I will still complain about that because it was pretty, It was. What's funny is, like, it got so close to not actually having anything bad happen, but everything tried its damnedest to fuck with me, so I'm just like, eh. Couldn't take it anymore. Still maintain it would have been fine if I just wouldn't have had that shitty run and lost the damn locks. Like, I'll get another one, but ugh, that's so much work that I don't know if I want to do. And I guarantee it's just because of the dang mosquitoes. If it weren't for those mosquitoes, I would have been fine. Yeah, and I mean, I feel like I've had a pretty good run of it, but it was pretty debilitating. I was pretty much done. I was like, nope, nope, no more of this. Can't do this no more. Not worth my mental health. Valheim works best with like 3 people. Yeah. Could give me spoilers, which makes things slightly easier. Oh, well, it depends. It depends what you mean by slightly easier, because if you're going to tell me the wheat completely heals the guy, I already knew that. I just had bad luck where I was trying to return from a trip and it just went bad. It just went bad. I mean, maybe at this point that playthrough, I'm like, I think I've gotten everything I want out of it. I might try to do one more boss, but gotcha. I was having a day. I'll admit I was having a day. Being a little bit of a piss baby. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Well, good. Thank you. That's that actually is reassuring. Yeah. And I still think the irony is the thing that you would think that would have happened. I was planning that goblin siege, and guess what? Guess what all that planning did? Worked. I planned for it, and guess what? It worked. It's when you don't plan for things that Valheim expects you to plan for that, in my opinion, you really can't. And it doesn't give you the tools to be able to react to them because enemies are just too aggro. They're just too aggro. They're too aggro, they do too much damage, and they don't ask for a margin of error. In a game that honestly will be like so much nothing until suddenly it kicks you in the teeth. You'll be like, cool, 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 cool. But hey, we ain't playing that no more. We're drawing dinosaurs. And honestly, this is coming out real nice. Already got the shape I pretty much want. Everything, including the dinosaur. Including the eggplant. Look how good the eggplant came out. That's about the right size for an eggplant, actually. Like, think of how big an eggplant is. I think an eggplant is like around 1.5 feet. Around 18 inches. Would you say that's about how long an eggplant is about 18 inches? No. Depends on the eggplant. Give me go. This clip depends on the eggplant for me. God damn it! I almost typed depends on the eggplant. Average size of an eggplant. Average length, I should say. Average length of an eggplant. Oh, 7 to 10 inches. Whoa, what fucking eggplants am I trying to eat? That they're 18 inches long. Well, 7 inches. Let's see. If this is about 5'11", 6 feet is 72 inches. So I'm 71 inches tall. So that would make me about 7 eggplants tall. I need... Hold on. Guys, we're doing math. Hold on. This needs to be accurate, okay? You have to understand. If I'm going to be doing this, this needs to be accurate. Or else I'm a hack. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah. This eggplant is too big. Like that, maybe? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little bit smaller. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 eggplants. Important. This is important. Important, intrinsically important to the field. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Maybe. Yeah, no, that's about right. Because it's 7 to 10 inches, so that would be like about a 8-inch eggplant. Eggplant for scale. Eggplant for scale. Why don't you just copy and paste the eggplants times 7? Because I'm not that concerned. I'm not that concerned with getting it accurate, actually. I want it to be... I want it to be clear that I'm just Using an eggplant as a really dumb metric. I want to show that I'm taking, I'm making discreetly as accurate as I can observations, but not good ones. I want this to be accurate, not correct. Or no, I want this to be accurate, not precise. Still, that seems so. I feel like you hold an eggplant in your hand. No, I guess 18 inches would be like as long as my arm. Yeah, 18 inches would be longer than my arm. Yeah, that sounds more right. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is about the right size for an eggplant. This is about the correct size for an eggplant. Here. And to scale the eggplant correctly, feed him the eggplant. I was like, where do I want to put that? I don't actually know where I wanted to put the eggplant. I do now. Move me back a little bit. Closer. Closer. Hi. Got a big dummy in my lap now. Uh-huh. Or alive. There we go. Move me back a little bit. Want to move me back enough. Just want to put the eggplant in my hand. Putting way too much work into this part of the drawing, and it is the part of the drawing that matters the least. I want to maintain this is the part of the drawing that matters the least. Oops. Probably not. Oh no. What are you yelling about? Leon. Left on my finger. I don't even know why. There we go. Oh, it's so close. Oh, it's like barely too big. Gross. Stop that. Stop that. You'll get in trouble. You'll get in trouble, Shilos. Twitch will be mad at you. I actually don't know if Twitch. I don't know if Twitch would be mad with you. Perfect. I think that's about right. I'm about 5'11". and it's about a little bit over 6 feet tall. I might actually have to make myself a little bit taller, or it a little bit shorter. I'm gonna make it a little bit shorter. There you go. There we go. Boy. Boys, I wonder where my lizard. There. How's that look? I think that's better. Actually, I think that's better. Position this frickin' leg. Much better. Might be good to start coloring here in a second. I mean, like, if I could see any of these animals in real life, I would want to get dangerously close to them, okay? I would want that. Hey! Welcome! Hello! Hello, everyone. Drawing dinosaurs. Drawing dinosaurs. Look at the dinosaurs I'm drawing. Look at the good boy. Me and Eggplant for scale. Hello, Aqua. Hello, everybody. How's it going? How was your strap? How was your time? Everybody go follow. Everybody go follow Aqua. She's a good girl. She's a good gal. She's a cowboy. Good. I'm glad. Aqua the best. Aqua the best. Never thought to ask, but your name is Aqua. Is Hydrate Man an associate? Is he the reason why he knows where I live? Are you the reason why he knows where I live? Well, so enjoy these good vibes. Enjoy these good vibes. I do really like this artist. This is an artist known as you could see, Haruka Nakamura. The first album I ever heard by him was an album titled Twilight. It's called Twilight, and it is quite good. It's one of my favorite pieces of music of all time. And I'd recently been re-listening to him, and I was like, full albums, why the heck? Why the heck not? And I found this, and I was like, oh my god, it's so good. Oh my god, it's like so good. So glad. Where does an Oviraptor have a nose? Oh. Oh no, the nose is still down here. The nose is still down there. An eggplant! This is an eggplant! I'm feeding them an eggplant, okay? Because eggplants... Eggplants are just my primary... Actually, no, they're my secondary. My primary metric of measurement is me. I'm the primary metric, and then the eggplant is for another sense of scale. Probably. I believe there is some debate that oviraptors are probably omnivorous. I don't think there's anything to imply that they were strictly carnivorous. Um, they certainly don't feel like it. Like, look at it. It's a big chicken. It's a big chicken. He's a big chicken. And this oviraptor is known as eonephrin, which, which when I say it like that, sounds like a kind of medicine. Eonephrin. Eonephrin. It is Eoneoehron. Eonephron. Also meaning Don Neophron. I think it's supposed to be Eoneophron, is the actual name, which is not that bad. They are an oviraptor found in the Hells Creek Formation in North America. Not know that these kinds of dinosaurs could be found in North America. It's super cool. I really did not know that oviraptors were... There were North American oviraptors. I never knew that until fairly recently, actually. Because normally I associate them to China and Asia. The dinosaur you actually sent me, Aqua, if I understand correctly, is Caudipteryx. Caudipteryx is actually a kind of... They're like a different... Probably a subfamily. They're a family um of oviraptorans. Though looking at this, clade is theropod, family is Canagnathidae, and I believe yes, Caudipteryx was actually a deviation before then. So, oh no, they're their own thing, Caudipterae. But they are technically oviraptorosaurs. Oviraptorosaurs are very, very weird. Um, they're also, from what I can tell, phylogenetically, they're maybe derivative of avian dinosaurs and aves. Like they are technically avian dinosaurs. And I mean, look at this thing. Do not look at this and go, "That's a big bird." That's a big bird. I would look at this and go, "That's a big bird." Oh, you missed it. I was telling Silos about how I'm quitting Valheim soon. We don't gotta talk about that. I feel better. It just, honestly, dinner helped a ton. It really did. Saved my ass. I think I just needed food. I think I just really needed food, too. Makes a difference, man. Eat food, everybody. Always remember to eat food. It makes a difference. I don't know yet. I was thinking about that. I mean, tomorrow I'll be doing something different anyways. Because I was thinking about moving some stuff around, and I definitely want to get back to animating. I want to be doing animation again, and that is probably what I'm going to be doing soon. I'll put it that way. I will be doing animation again, and then if I was to, but that's to replace Dave the Diver, since I just needed that time back. But if I mean, eventually I will be doing something other than Valheim, maybe sooner than later. There's a couple things I've been thinking about. And I might be doing. I'm either going to leave 1 day a week to console, maybe. So I'd probably do something PC. And I might look into something like Valheim, like Dave the Diver. What's funny is I did not anticipate playing essentially, because I would still say Dave the Diver and Valheim had enough in common that that also was probably, I was just hitting two of the same genre too frequently. And one of them was significantly much more enjoyable to me than the other one. Let's be honest. Could maybe do Could maybe do. I was thinking about maybe doing Stardew, especially because I've been playing it so much with friends that I was like, I've never done a solo playthrough of Stardew. I could think about that. I have other options. I'm gonna go through all my. I like just got a bunch of games for Christmas and stuff. I've got plenty of games to play. That is not a question. And then I can always. I was like, maybe I go back. Maybe I go back. You would play with me again? Maybe. The problem is I'd be doing that during the day. I would be doing that during the day, but it probably would be about that time slot Valheim is. So if you would be okay with that, it would just be like 2, 3-ish hours a day. We'd just vibe. Maybe. Because alternatively, I was like, maybe I finally go back and beat a Harvest Moon that I've never actually played. Well, there you go. Maybe. Maybe. I would be interested in that. I mean, I've definitely gotten re-addicted. Like, I would admit that I've never had any issue with Stardew. I just never really went out of my way to play it myself. And I know it was pretty popular amongst our friends at one point. And then I know I played it a little bit with you, Aqua, and then I played it a little bit with another group of friends. But I never really got into it. And this year, I've been playing it with David and Aaron on Tuesdays, and I will admit it's got me a little suckered. But I'm enjoying it, so I'm like, you know what, fuck it. Why not play a game you like to play? And at this point, I think, like, as you kind of put it too, Silos, like, that's totally what I'm experiencing with Valheim is, if for better or for worse, kind of the intended experience. And I have only so much, and I've learned that I'm really not. I really do not actually like being sadistic with a game. Like, I like when a game can challenge me, but challenge does not mean I like to beat my head that much against a brick wall. Like, I really don't. Valheim is a little bit too punishing for me sometimes, and I just think I'm reaching my limit with that. Because it's not challenging all the time. Just sometimes Valheim just wants to like essentially tax you. Sometimes Valheim just takes video game taxes on you, and you're like, cool, 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 fuck you. Cool, 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 go fuck yourself, Valheim. Uh-huh. And I'm sure there's an argument to be like, well, if you didn't have stuff like that, then you wouldn't have anything to. They want you to have to defend yourself and like. But the thing is the game is so clunky. The game is so clunky that if you just find yourself in a bad situation, you have to really strain yourself to not screw up. And I have to admit, I had a pretty rough day today. I couldn't really strain myself any more than I had, and I had like made it clear by the end of that stream that, like I had strained. I had strained to try not to lose anything, and there were so many other times I could have lost more, and it just left a bad taste in my mouth still. It could have gone way worse, and I still didn't like it. Yep, you can't hit them. If you are on your locks and you aggro and you're just minding your own business and you aggro a mosquito, you won't know until the mosquito's on top of you. Because their visual acuity and their aggro range is so wide. It's too wide. It's just too wide. They really needed to reduce a lot of the sight lines that things can see you from. They could see you from just way too far away, man. There we go. Trying to get those feet figured out. There's also a couple of other things I've been thinking about playing. I definitely know whatever I want to do next after Elden Ring will actually be something on my PlayStation 2. I want to bust out the PlayStation 2 and start going through that because I have like a back catalog on that I can revisit that I've been wanting to hit. I know there's plenty of like I've actually never done my favorite Zelda game. I was thinking about that too, doing a Wind Waker playthrough because I've never done a Wind Waker playthrough, and I want to be able to discuss and like analyze one of my favorite video games of all time. It's one of my favorites. I want to be able to do a playthrough of that. It has played a hugely important and informative part of my interest in games and games design. So I want to be able to analyze it at some point. I drew bot. Thank you. There he is. Look at this big dumb bird. Look at this big dumb bird. He doesn't know. He doesn't know what an eggplant is. I have a dumb idea on what to on what to put. It'd be very stupid. I like this combination though. I like this combination. I like the way that this looks. I think the composition on this is really, really nice. I think to kind of like cement what I want to do next, like God damn it, Laura Mibson. Neofron. That is the actual name. That is the actual name of the damn thing. I do think they're getting worse at naming them, in my opinion. But I'm an old dinosaur. Like, I think this one's fine. I think Neofron is fine. It's a little weird, and its name to me is a little bit. I don't want to say bland. I don't think bland is the right term. It doesn't feel like you're saying anything good. Like, and then also its name is not great because it doesn't utilize the, like, unless I am confused, the Neophron is not the Latinized name for the Egyptian vulture. What is the scientific name for the Egyptian vulture? Oh, no, it's Neophron. Never mind. Bullshit. Never mind. But like that's already a genus name for something, so it's really confusing to me. To me, that's really confusing. Neophron invernalis. Bold italic. Oh, come on. That's why. It's being weird. Hinsveltman et al. 2024. Good job, Atkins. Good job, Atkins, Veltman. Awkward. Why it had to do that. Yeah, we'll leave it like, Wait a second. Don't tell me these are different layers. No, it's the same layer. Boy, this program really, 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 really does not like. This program does not like using text. It's like, don't make me do it. I'm so bad at it. Like, this program goes, oh god, please, no. I really can't do it. Please use something else. Please use Photoshop for words. I can't do it. I'm not good at it. Now to be a real nerd. Hold on. What? I actually don't know. Surely Darwin, right? Linnaeus, 1758. Thank you, Linnaeus. Thank you for determining that we were not, in fact. Oh, look. We've got a 6-foot turkey next to a featherless biped. We have a feathered biped next to a featherless biped. That's how you can tell which one is a human. Can you? Lorem ipsum. What I thought. I did not know this, though. I don't know who took credit. I actually really didn't know. Man, what were we before 1758? Featherless bipeds. I know the answer. Oh shit, I forgot to do that. Hold on. I forgot I could do this. I gotta do this more. I specifically do want to turn it off just for stream, otherwise I don't care. I actually like that bar being there, but I do think it's distracting when we're streaming. No, when you see how many tabs I have open, it makes me nervous. Makes me queasy. There. You want some real nerd shit? That's some real nerd shit. Here you go. Because I either do it that way or I do it the other side. Or I put it at the bottom, which I don't really want to do either. And I think what I'll do then is, yeah, we'll put that at the bottom. And I'll just sign it somewhere random. Normally I put it at the top right, but... Ugh. Just so you know. Just so you know that even though I'm a big weeb, I know what I'm doing, kind of. I know what I'm doing, kinda. And oh, why is that? Why is that the grid it tried to use? Ooh, bad grid. Turn this grid off. Give me a graph. Fuck. Yeah, it is a vanishing point. No, I know, I know. I was just like, ugh, that's not helpful to me at all. Really just want the grid so that way I can have that line, and then I want to take you, and I want to put you equal to that. Like that. How dare you? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You know me. I don't use the tools at hand to do good art. Come on now. How would I do that? Using the ruler, though. Remember correctly. It was, oh, it locks onto something. I don't know what. It, Oh, and the ruler's gone. Buddy. I'm gonna say that's about close. I'm gonna say that's about good enough. I'm gonna lump those together. I can hide them anytime. There we go. Let's see. $20. Like me a blue crest. Do that. Do yellow. Do yellow. I want to go for chicken. I don't think I want to go for chicken colors necessarily. Trying to find a good coloration right now. Let me actually look up. Does look up a macaw? Let me look up a blue macaw, blue and gold. I don't know if I want to go pure macaw colors, but I do want it to be like more macaw colors. Certainly in the head. There we go. Something like that. We go kind of a light. Light gray there. Oh, blue again. That. Kind of. Let's go with... Trying to think... What color green? Trying to think bird colors, but honestly, I probably just need to go with the gray here. Yeah, something like that. Here we go. Here we go. Beak. I'll try a yellow first, but I think we're probably... Well, try goldenrod. Ooh, I like that, actually. Oh, I might actually do the darker. Maybe to be able to make the colors go over. I like these colors though. Something like that. Trying to be really more subtle. I don't know. I just like it. Saturate it a little bit. Dinosaur. Dinosaur. Trying to think how I want to work in that coloration because I definitely want the blue to be more of a thing. Just don't know how. Might actually work better if I do it that way. This is a bit of a tough part. Trying to decide exactly where to put everything. Something more like that. Might actually decide against the blue there. One color at a time. Do something like that, more like that. The darker one now. Ooh, I like where this coloration is going now. Ooh, I like where this coloration is going now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like that. Trying to find kind of a good medium here. I'm thinking like that, maybe? Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Duh. That's so much pressure. The irony is you have no idea how actually much more pressuring that can be. That's okay. I got it. I got it. It's hard, man. Making shit is hard. Unsurprisingly, making shit is very difficult. But it okay. It okay. This is actually coming really, really nice. This is coming along really nicely now. The biggest thing I've been trying to focus more on is consistently adding in the right ways instead of just constantly adding and constantly adding and constantly adding. Like, I'm actually trying to be much more precise on how I add certain things. And I find it interesting how going over the way that I do has affected a lot of how a piece will like come out now. And I still think most of my style requires me to like start with something and then build around it or build through it, but I think I've gotten much better at that kind of thing in general. I've also gotten much better at like being able to just like put something down, which is really nice. I feel like it's a skill that's pretty hard to develop sometimes. To put something exactly where you want it to be, and you're like, yes, that's where I wanted it. Oftentimes, I think there's more of a struggle of like, well, I want to go where I want it to go. That's my thing for a long time. Not doing what I wanted to. No, I think just lateral lines. I'm thinking just lateral lines. Ooh, I like that coloration a lot. Yeah, I like that coloration a lot, a lot. I Let me see. First, we're gonna do this. Make me a weird eye goggle thing. Yeah, something like that. Oh yeah. I mean, that's why I want it to be striking. Blue is not common. Ultimately, I still want this to be like kind of weird colors, but I always get the interpretation. I always get the impression that oviraptorids, in particular, are very like brightly colored animals. Something about them. That feeling that they're very bird-like, I think. They just strike me more as like birds than like anything else. Fun with it. I feel like blue is a color we associate a lot more with birds as well. Not to say that it's any more common with birds. It's not. Oh, I want to make that clear. I don't say that saying like, yeah, blue's like a bird thing. Only birds have it. Not only do birds only have it, it's just if you're gonna find it anywhere, you're probably gonna find it on a bird. Um, but that doesn't mean that it's very common even for birds. It's not. Not in the slightest. But trying to get an idea of where that would be. Kind of going weird colors. I don't know why. I'm feeling weird colors. Kind of texture that a little bit. Make it flamingo pink. It's already too late. I can't do that. I've already done that. I did that so long ago. Probably. I get the impression that flamingos really care about anything, so I don't think anything. Well, I don't know. They look like the kind of animal that if you like really got mad at one, it would be really satisfying to grab it. They're a very grabbable shape. To me, it seems like a very grabbable shape. I don't know. Just grab them by their neck, grab them by their leg. Saying I'd want to, necessarily. Saying probably be satisfied. There we go. I want to do. Want that to be darker. Definitely want that to be darker. Go back to this. Wait, no. Dark. Go to this. Didn't mean to make him look angry, but here we are. There we go. Mainly just wanted to smooth that out. I want to get like a really, really light blue. I don't know. Ooh, that's a fun coloration that I just found. Yeah, we're gonna kind of do that a little bit more. Right now, I'm just trying to build it out a little bit more so it makes sense. Yeah, I like that a lot. That came out really, really nice. And then let's go fine. Yeah. Trying to think how this crest would work. As far as like patterning would go. Something like that. Actually need to color the eyeball still. I haven't done that. Let's go with the classic yellow. Hell yeah. Something like that. I do still really enjoy doing eyeballs. I've always enjoyed doing eyeballs. Fun to draw. Or they can be. They can also be very infuriating to draw. I know that much. Trust me, anytime I'm like, I have a fun time drawing eyeballs, hands. There was a series of times where drawing eyeballs and hands was like trying to decipher a cryptic foreign language, and I went, this is bullshit. I like that coloration a lot, though. Oh, duh. Making a critical error here, actually. Do that more. In fact, if I'm gonna do that, I need like that to differentiate it from the finger. More like that, maybe. Kind of learned something here. Never done before. At least with feathers. There we go. Something more like that. Have eggplant. Still like that. I'm just like, here's an eggplant. Here, have this eggplant. Will we be friends now? This is just what I would do if I was faced with specifically an Oviraptor. Be like, well, you haven't tried to kill me yet. Here's an eggplant. Honestly, like even though Oviraptor as like a whole is like been like, yeah, that's not too big. I'm just like, he's still as tall as I am. Bit ridiculous. Why you gotta be so tall, buddy? You don't gotta be that tall. There we go. There. I like that accent a lot more. I like how that better illustrates that like there's another freaking feather. There's another freaking feather. Something more like this, a bit wider. Just I'm trying to figure out what to do with that line. That. We're just going to kind of darken that a little bit, just so that way it's not sticking out too much. I like this weird green that I've given him, though. It looks good. There we go. Did you actually change the color when I select a different color? Thank you. Yeah, I still can't believe that this guy somehow... I can't believe he somehow made it to America. This funny little chicken. Again, I thought that Oviraptorans were primarily an Asian taxonomy. I thought they primarily originated. Most of their a lot of remains have been found. Mongolia, China, those regions. Well, you know what I mean. The relative continental location of Asia did still exist. The concept of Asia still existed. Just not the not the geographical human region. And the big thing is rather the thing is that North America and Asia were still separate. They were still separate continents for a big portion of the Jurassic and the Cretaceous. But near the end of the Cretaceous, the two continents actually for not that very long were connected by a giant land bridge near the northern poles. And I did not know that. And it wasn't like an ice thing. It was like an actual like physical rock connection that the continents were. And I didn't know that because I knew that there were Asian tyrannosaurs and Asian and American dromaeosaurs, but I never really thought about the implications of that. And then when I heard there were oviraptorids found in the Hell Creek Formation, I was like, there are oviraptorids found in the Hell's Creek Formation? Why? I thought oviraptors were like predominantly Asian, and that's where we learn, something important about the geological scale and how continents move around a lot. You can usually judge that based on the animals that you find in the fossil record. That is something that's very, very indicative and very important for understanding how the continents have moved through time, is to see what animals are available there. You know that there's a period of time when you don't see a class of animal that those two continents were not connected, and then when they suddenly are, when you suddenly see animals that have no precedence in being there, that means that those continents at some point had some kind of fusion, some kind of marginal connection or proximity to be able to actually allow those animals to overcome those those geographical barriers that before kept them completely separate. Because again, animals, you do not see oviraptorids appear in America until there is a tangible way for them to cross into America. They did not just appear. Animals do not, actual taxonomic animals do not appear in different countries unless at some point those countries or continents had a way for their ancestors to arrive there. Hugely important for that. The only exception to that, and it's an exception that is not genetic, is convergent evolution, which convergent evolution is not you have an animal suddenly pop out of nowhere. It is you have an animal of a completely different taxonomy that has no relationship to another animal, one way, shape, or form, and they only appear similar due to environmental pressures and niche diversity in which they had developed a form. They either developed a form or an apparatus that worked for the niche they were filling and had nothing to do with the actual relation to another animal that had similar or the same traits as they did. That's convergent evolution. And that's the big difference. If you have two animals that are related to each other, and there is precedent that they were not located in an area before, that means that you have radiation of a species. If you have two animals that look very similar, that live a similar lifestyle, but have had no contact or no direct contact to each other and were isolated, that's convergent evolution. And hey, if you need to dig, best way to dig is to have a shovel, right? That's why we have 8 different kinds of moles that are not related to each other. Not 8, I exaggerate that. But the main one is the difference between the marsupial mole and the placental mole. They are not related to each other. They are not closely related to each other. Their closest derivative would have been their closest common ancestor is what I should call it, would have been the mammalian ancestry of all placentals and marsupials. That's how far back you'd have to go before they're even closely related. And that means that those two moles developed completely independently of each other. We did not have marsupial moles that eventually evolved into placental moles. They're actually completely different animals. Placentals did not originate fully from marsupials. At least if I understand that correctly, for Eutheria, and I can't remember the other Theria, the marsupials. The Eutheria and the other Theria. I don't remember what they're called. Sorry. Mammals ain't my thing. I don't really care about mammals. I care about dinosaurs and reptiles and birds. I will admit, I actually care more about birds since I began to accept that aves are birds. Aves are birds. Aves are dinosaurs. Didn't used to care as much about birds. I used to think birds were weird. Birds weren't always my thing. They're only my thing now because I think it's cool that we have that the living remnants of theropods still do exist. That's super cool. They do exist. They do live. Nope, I'm not feeling that. I think more flowy. More flowy. Just need a little bit to shade. Need a lot, I just need a little bit. Might start shading it more next. I should color me. I'm gonna color me now. Let's color me now. Me should be easy. Famous last words. Let's go 20. Oop. It's actually tough. I think it's actually too dark. Maybe? Mm. Mm. Yeah. Here's what we're gonna do. Start with that, right? Having a difficult time. You're gonna go for it. Screw it. There we go. That's better. I just needed to start coloring. I work best by scribbling. My jeans. A little bit richer. That color. A little bit more that way. A little bit more that way. Trying to think. Actually, think it's too much saturation. No. Perfect. This is why I just gotta go for it sometimes. Ah, beans. Want it that dark? Question. Probably not. We don't want it that big. There we go. Ah, nuts. It's fine. Just gonna do something like that. Again, I'm not the focus. I'm not the subject. I'm just there for scale. I just want to make sure that I get the right shapes and everything. Or what I'm concerned about. Actually, I need to go there. We need to go to this dark gray. Maybe not that dark. Actually, no, I've already settled on the black, so I gotta use the black. Otherwise, it'll just look weird. There. Do something more like that. Right now, I'm just trying to clean up some of that to make it a little bit thicker. There we go. Uh-huh. Just as dinosaur noises. I love it. It's weird. I do feel bad. I've had a lot of people asking me if we take song requests, and I have to turn them down. I still feel pretty adamant that I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't want people to have to, like, consider what songs would be okay, because actually you want to know the real answers is people won't. And that's why I'm like, people won't consider what songs are good for the stream, good for the vibe, things that I'm going to be comfortable and enjoy. And I hate to say this, but I really only want to play music that I'm going to like, even if other people don't like it. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty good at finding pretty good music, so. Eh. It is tough. I don't quite know what to do about it sometimes because of it. Like that? Yeah. And I get it. I also get it. I know I play a lot of weirder music anyways, but that's why I like to play it, is maybe you've never heard it before. That's something as I want to make a point is like, you know, part of my musical taste is sharing music that I think is kind of weird and kind of interesting and kind of different anyways. Get people out of their comfort zones when it comes to certain things. Some of my favorite music I found getting out of my comfort zone, so more than anything else, this channel I want to make clear is that I'm trying to hopefully expose people to things they normally never would even experience or see and what that's like. So, of course, I'd want to specifically find music like that. But it doesn't mean that all music I'm going to enjoy for that either. And it depends on the vibe and what I'm looking for. Say, like, I don't think I would play, even though I've used them in a video before, I don't think I would, like, play Slut live. Like, love Sewer Slut. Unless I'm in a really bad mood, I don't think I would play them live. And I really like Sewer Slut. Like, I would consider Sewer Slut one of my favorite artists. They're really good. Maybe I should play Sewer Slut. I don't know. Maybe I will play Sewer Slut. I do love this hyper realistic dinosaur next to me trying to feed it a fucking eggplant. Well, there's no questioning now. It definitely is an eggplant. Actually, no. More like that. Need something darker. Trying to think. Coloration of that nubbin is weird. Also, I gotta. Funny. I have to make sure that this is actually colored all the way in. Then I have to go back over it with white. In case I want to change the background or anything, which I don't know if I do yet, but I do still have to do this if I want to then. There we go. Like that. Get a little bit of wrinkle in there, but much. Perfect. Gotta go poo. Go poo. Go poo. Take shit. This is a good idea. There you go. You can't question it, though. You can't. I haven't decided if I'm gonna put these on different layers or not and have one that's with me, one that's without me for scale. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I haven't gotten that far into the piece. There we go. Want to lighten that up a little bit. That getting a little bit too dark. Kind of want to move this dot to be more a little bit splayed, a little bit more to the right. I liked that it was kind of like, ooh. I liked that it was like not really focused on it. There we go. Oops, 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 oops. Oops. Something like that. I don't know why. I like the weird noises that are in this. I don't even know where they come from. I wonder if they're sampling them from something, but I don't know what they would be sampling. It's very silly. They're showing the mindset of being a big dumpy dinosaur. Try something like that. A little bit more fine. There we go. And then I'm gonna try that. Too big. Too thick. Try this. We're gonna do that. Something like that. Darken it up back there. It is a good combo. I do like that. That is a good combo. I do like that. Here, let me put it someplace where you guys can actually see him. That's fine. I feel like I can't tell. No, it's not that much lower. It's not that much lower. It's like I feel like the music is weirdly low, but it's like not really. It's not really that much lower. There we go. Finer. There we go. Something like that. Straight that out a little bit more. Out that side. There we go. Dang. I like that. I like how that's coming along now. I think if I just go in a little bit at a time. Do something like that, maybe. Kind of go in through it with a fine. Just start adding a little bit more. Just a little bit at a time. Just a little bit at a time. Perfect. I really want to make it clear that it's like a round eye. Can't help it. I want to use a black line. I want to use a black line. Helps really define out certain shapes. There we go. Look at the bird. Look at the silly bird. Look at the funny chicken. Look at the funny chicken. Ooh. You funny chicken. Love my dumb funny chicken. He looks good. He's looking good. Give him the eggplant. Give him eggplant. Might like. Give him eggplant. Gave me an eggplant, I'd be mad. That's because I hate eggplants. Not because eggplants are bad. I'll eat an eggplant. I'll eat an eggplant. I just think that they're vegetables that shouldn't exist. Sins against God. Whole thing with me and eggplants was having to try to prepare an eggplant and like getting really mad about what it took to get the eggplant to work. Then learning later on stupid things about the eggplant, like the fact that it is related to, for me it's always that it's related to the tobacco plant and does actually have trace amounts of nicotine in it. Which to me is just stupid. Oh, smoke an eggplant. Wait, that's different. Wait a second, that's different. Oops, 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 oops. I don't know why I was all tabbing there. That doesn't help me at all. Ionephrine. Yeah, if I say it really quick like that, ionephrine, it sounds like some kind of over the counter drug. Down to 8. I'm trying to decide where to put those, because they're not that simple. Welcome back. Welcome back, Silos. I will say, no matter what, I've been on a good streak with drawing and art recently, I feel like. And this style, I've really enjoyed doing it. I've really enjoyed doing it this way. And I think putting me in there more is going to be a good thing. I think if I start doing this more, this will be good for my art. Like, it'll both be practice for me and help give me a little bit more like of a distinctive style, right? Like you'll be able to recognize if you see a weirdo. If you see a weirdo in the image, you'll know who it is. It's me. It was my drawing of a silly dinosaur. If you see a weirdo in there with it. Here we go. Still am not 100% sure what I'm going to do for tomorrow. I have ideas, but it's going to be interesting. People are dinosaur descendants too. No, they're not. Actually, no. They're not. Much as I want to be descended from dinosaurs, we're not. We might be featherless bipeds, but we're not dinosaurs. We do not have... Our closest common ancestor to dinosaurs would probably be the fact that we're both fish. The fact that we're both fish, that we're quadrupeds. It's about as closely related to dinosaurs as we get. Or I guess amniotes. We're closely related to dinosaurs via both being amniotes. I'd say that's our closest relation, because then you have the deviation of synapsids, and anapsids and diapsids, and all synapsids are where all mammals and other mammal-like reptiles came from. Those are synapsids. Diapsids are all reptile, or well, they are. This is the thing. Unless I'm wrong, again, I've never really been 100% sure about this. I believe turtles are a weird group of kind of more formative, or at least older, something called anapsids, but I always get the impression that they're not anapsids, they are diapsids that ended up closing both the holes in their head so they look like anapsids, but I don't actually know. But diapsids are pretty much all reptiles and birds. All reptiles and birds are diapsids. Lizards, crocodiles, birds, dinosaurs, they're all diapsids. That's our closest, though. That's our closest relation, is the fact that we're all amniotes. Or that is our lowest deviation before the entire group, before an entire group split off, branched off. That's what our closest shared trait is that we are amniotes. I think. That's what makes sense to me. I believe amniotes, this is that question of the chicken before the egg. And the answer is the egg. The egg came way before the chicken. Ha 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 ha. But as amniotes, we have eggs. That is what makes us amniotes. We have eggs that are not reliant. We have, theoretically speaking, we have hard-shelled eggs. Of course, as mammals, we no longer have those hard-shelled eggs. However, the presence of hard-shelled eggs is something that is fundamental to us as amniotes that we have since developed away from, but still have in a certain sense. Because we wouldn't have developed to be able to bear live young if we hadn't first had ancestors that developed how to birth young outside of water. That is the big distinction. That's what still makes us amniotes, is the fact that we had to develop those eggs into a different avenue, but those eggs still are based on eggs that were laid. The eggs that humans have were based on eggs that were laid at one point. So back when we were amphibians is the last common ancestor of mammals and dinosaurs. No, it's when we were both lizards. That's last common, because it's important to distinct. It's an important distinction. It's an important distinction that it wasn't amphibia where we branched off. It was reptilia where we branched off. Because that would insinuate that we don't have a shared trait aside from being four-legged, air-breathing animals. When in reality, our next closest common ancestry as far as like traits is the egg. It's absolutely the egg. The egg is what unifies us. You're just reading the Wikipedia entry, which has divergence during the age of amphibians. Sure, the Devonian is called the age of amphibians, but that doesn't mean that only amphibians existed in that era. It just meant that amphibians were dominant. Uh-huh. Yes, yes, yes. Because that's when we did start seeing amniotes first exist. But the thing is amniotes being new means they were new. For that period of time, amphibians were dominant. They were the dominant life forms. They were found. Yeah, well, the Devonian is the age of fish, specifically, because fish were going fucking crazy during the Devonian. They were going wild, is when that was. So there really was never an age of the amphibians. Tetrapods did not really start taking over until we even started dominating the land. And amphibians never had that opportunity. They are too restricted. They're too restricted. They can't really dominate. They have to stay in the water, near the water, for themselves and for their young. So they couldn't really do anything aside from diversify within the very narrow space of needing to live in the water, around the water, and near the water. You can't really diversify too far away from that. You can still diversify a lot. You can still do a lot of things in that kind of like space. But as soon as you try to get away from the water, you can't. And as soon as you try to go back into the deeper the water, all you can do is try to compete with niches of animals that have already continued doing that and been getting better at it in certain ways. So you're outcompeted there too. So amphibians themselves never really had an era. They didn't. They were never really the dominant. And that kind of makes sense in that sense, right? Like they can't in a lot of ways. Which doesn't mean that this is not an insult to frogs or anything like that. Like there's no such thing as a worst life form. There really isn't. Sometimes it's also just chance. Like in a certain sense, the reason why quote unquote why we're dominant is just pure happenstance, baby. We got lucky. The dinosaurs ate the big... The dinosaurs ate the big dam, thus opening up a lot. And whenever that happens, I think people forget, whenever that happens, what actually happens, and the reason why things like, okay, why didn't the dinosaurs just come back then? Because they didn't fully die, right? Well, they were set back. They were set back. They weren't ready to radiate out like that, like mammals were. Mammals were already kind of sitting in a position that they couldn't they couldn't take any of those niches, right? So they were just kind of sitting, being rats, as rats are, doing what rats do best, and then as soon as all those dinosaurs disappeared, as soon as all of them disappeared, there weren't animals that were the same size as the mammals at the time that were dinosaurs to be able to re-radiate out again. Like, dinosaurs that size didn't really exist. They're probably the only reason why we have birds, or the few that did, because the actual ecological space that rats took for a long time was held by the rats. The rats held the rats held the position of rats. And as soon as dinosaurs disappeared, it totally makes sense that there were a lot more variations of rat. There are a lot more variations of rat. And because there were more variations of rat, and they were able to probably just as a whole weather the extinction event that happened at the end of the Cretaceous, they were thus then prepared to be able to radiate out from that because all these niches opened up. They had already been building a certain amount of ecological fitness compared to their competition, things diapsids, and diapsids had fallen behind because of the fact that the environmental factors were so against them that they could not keep up that fitness in comparison. So even if the weather got just as good as it did before, evolution was not prepared for diapsids. It was for mammals. It absolutely was for mammals and synapsids for that reason, because they had actually were more ecologically prepared to do so in a certain sense. They were probably more diverse by the end of the dinosaurs, and thus, by sheer numbers of diversity, could thus start moving themselves into those niches before diapsids could, because they didn't have the diversity to be able to enter those niches. Like, listen to me talking about biology like I know what I'm talking about. I do. It sounds like I went to school for this and I just want to share my knowledge. I do feel bad. Like, I feel like I should ever smooth this over with some of my friends. I feel like I for a while, like, really had a passion for biology and stuff, but always came off that I was trying to be, like, smarter than my friends, and that's not the case. I just really care about this stuff, like, a lot, and I like educating and sharing this information when I can, because it's important information. It's how we'll understand how to adapt, and how adaptation is going to be important as time goes on, because it is going to be important as time goes on. It's incredibly important. Incredibly so important. Shit. I'll probably do one more stream of this. I'll probably add some more details, but this is definitely not done. But it's also definitely 10:30, and I should call it. But yeah, I like this guy. I like this little freak. No, this guy looks good. He's coming out good. I like that I drew me for a size comparison. I'm gonna start doing that more. It's 11:30. Get on the right time zone. Oh, I'm sorry. The time is in China. We could say that it's that time right now. That's the time zone we're gonna have to be starting to adopt soon, I bet. We don't gotta talk about it. It's fine. The world's fine. No, it's fine. No, this guy's coming out great. I'm really liking his coloration. I think I did a really good job of capturing his like size. And that's something I want to do more better moving forward, is make it clear that like I might do something to interact with them. Obviously, if I decide to draw, let's say, Europs, because I'm kind of obsessed with Europs now. He's a weirdo. He's a synapsid, actually. Check. He's a weird creature. But if you want one of our, wait, maybe I said it wrong. I think I got the wrong one. What the hell is it not Europs? Is it not called Europs? What is this freak? What are you called? I know. Well, that's an Ophiuchodon. Is it Europs? Did I spell it wrong? Is it spelled with a Y? I swore it's spelled with a U, with an EU. Well, those are European synapsids. The Dolphosaurus, but that's not the one I'm looking for. Hold on. I know how to look. I know where to find it. Where the Europeans at? Where the Europans at? I'm a dumbass. It was Ophiuchodon. Ophiuchodon. I don't know where I got Europs from. Erops! Eryops. God damn it. But I was thinking of Ophiuchodon. Dummy. I'm a dummy. I decided to draw Ophiuchodon, which is a pretty big boy. He's maybe a little bit, he's like 4 feet tall. And about 30% of it is head. He's got big mouth, big jaws, big teeth. That'd probably have me running away from him. But no, I will put myself somewhere in a picture, or put a character somewhere in the picture as a size comparison whenever I feel like. So, and I think it fits my style. It does, actually. It's cute. I really like this this caricature though that I've designed. Though granted, obviously, like just a bean head. Just a bean head. But I like my bean heads. I will admit they're probably more strongly inspired by things like a little bit of the dongos from why can't I think of the name of Clanad? They're like the dongos from Clanad, and a little bit of the caricaturization from Nichijou. So I've got my inspirations, but yeah, I like this direction I'm taking this, because I've been like, I want to keep up the dinosaurs, but I still want to do my other character design. So maybe I just do both, as I've always seemingly ended up doing anyways. Is I go, man, I wish I could do this, but I also wish I could do this. And guess what I always do every time? I just do both of them at the same time. About to wrap up. E for comparison.
Are you touching it or are you feeding it? You're feeding it. Why are you feeding it an eggplant?
Because the eggplant is for comparison.
Oh, why not a banana?
I actually wanted to start with a banana, but I get angrier about eggplants. So I think they're funnier vegetables.
They're kind of gross. I mean, they have an innuendo, that's for sure.
Listen, that's not the problem. They float in water.
They do.
They're related to tobacco, and they have trace amounts of nicotine. See why I hate eggplant?
Okay, well, I'm learning new things today.
They're delicious. I hate them.
They're delicious. They're disgusting, in my opinion.
Thank you.
You're
new.
flying through it. Like you're like every single stream now, start to finish a drawing.
I'll probably do a little bit more next
Do a
time.
little bit more next time.
But yeah, I'm getting close to that. That's the goal, honestly.
Because it's only been 3.5 hours. Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast. All right. Nope. Just yelling at you.
Pet the cat.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks awesome with
Thank you.
especially
Ah, shit. I've got branding. I'm recognizable now. Here, I'll do this real fast, and then we'll call it. I just saw my glasses, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna bug me. I might need to calibrate my pen. I'm noticing that the pen is not quite aligning right. I might do that after this. And then just as a, I want to test something. Oh no! It's fine. Nah, we'll do that. Just the white line is enough. All right. What there? Oh, look there. Look at him. He's hungry. Look at him. I can't see it though. His eyes are too wide. He's like, he knows that there's something in front of him, but he doesn't know what. This is something that bird eyes always crack me up. Is they go wide. Flop. My cat can be stealthy, and sometimes he like drops with the force of a 500-kilogram bomb. Goes thud. All right. I'm gonna start closing it up. I'm gonna open up Bing Create. What the hell is a key pow? What is a key pow? I don't know what that is. It's a Chinese dress? Oh, is it the one with the hip slide? With the hip slot? The one that you see the hips all the way up the side? Is that one of those? Is that the one? Is that the one? It'd be really hard to draw. It's the neck thing. You know, I don't know if I like it worse that you're like, no, you've got the wrong sexy Chinese dress. Not the one with the hip thing. The one with the neck thing. Cheongsam. Let me see. I just want to. What is this? What is this thing? A key pow. Oh. Which they did change to the Cheongsam. Okay. You say the neck thing, and I'm like, whoa. Oh, that neck thing. It's like a weird. I'm not gonna call it like a reverse collar, but it's like it's not like a turtleneck. I see what you mean. It's a weird thing. They're pretty. They look good. I like them. Yeah, I recognize these. They kind of do the leg hip thing. I'm pretty sure I've seen one of these designed with the leg hip thing, so yeah. All right, I'm gonna open up Bing Create though, and we're gonna make an image together. If you guys want to participate, all you got to do is type in chat. Whatever chat says, I'll also use as reference for the image prompt, and then I'll generate an image and share it before we read out. Ever open a video game and never play it? Yeah, actually, I feel like I definitely have an example of that. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I definitely have run into cases like that where I open it, look at it, and then never play it again. I want to change that for one game in particular, actually. Next time I open up VR, I'm either going to do. I've been trying to keep up with Beat Saber, but there's another game that I actually got for Christmas called Underdogs that is super fun. I wouldn't mind streaming it sometime. It's really cool. I might do that as an in between for before I figure out whatever I'm gonna do for if I decide to no longer do Valheim, but we'll see. I didn't know how to respond to that. Oh, he's a sleepyhead. Sleepy eyes. What do you need those eyes for? Guys, my cat is a weirdo. He likes me. He loves me. I don't know what his problem is. What? All right. So, get this Bing prompt started. Um, doing my best, offering an eggplant to Eon Neophron. If you want to add to that, I'll give you guys a second, but I think I know what I want to add to it at least. I actually know what I'm gonna do, and I think it'll yell at me because it's going to have a curse. It's gonna have a curse in it, guys. Gotcha. An Eoneophron, the new Oviraptoran dinosaur from the Hell's Creek formation that is wearing an authentic Cheong Som dress. Surely it'll know what to do with all of that. MCCanary offering an eggplant to Eoneophron, the new Oviraptoran dinosaur from the Hells Creek formation that is wearing the dinosaur is wearing an authentic Gyeongsam. All right. Are you gonna get mad about Hell's Creek? I think it'll get mad about Hell. Maybe not. Dude, I kind of want to know how it's going to interpret Hell's Creek, though. Oh, shit. Oh, it did do something. So before we do that, I need to do one more thing. I need to do two more things, actually. So before we do that, I need to make my signature. What? Why are you yelling? He stopped yelling. Sir, you're not supposed to be up there. Thank you. 12? That's good. Here we go. Do my signature. Yeah, that way. One of these days, I just need to make this once so I never have to make it again. And I can just paste it on everything. That's usually what I actually do. I just haven't done it recently. I've really wanted to make sure I've gotten a style that I like. There we go. I do like that a lot. This might be the best one I've done so far. That's the thing, is I want it to be consistent and I want it to look good. Oops. There we go. There we go. Or, trying to think where to put this. Where to put my signature? Here, I just need to make it first. And then I can reposition it wherever I want. Now I can move it wherever the hell I want. Put it on his butt. I know where to put it. On my foot. Perfect. There we go. I like that. Okay. I was like, I'm forgetting something. I was forgetting something. Alright, now I can start wrapping it up. So stick around to the very end. I also do a bit of a closing bit, and we do raid after every stream. So that way the vampires in our chat can keep watching. It's everybody else out there. Make sure to go lock your doors and windows, because it's almost lunchtime for vampires. And thank you for joining, everybody. Hope you had a good time and you enjoyed the show. What's wrong with Canony? What's wrong with Canony? What's wrong with MCCanary? I don't see the problem here. Thank you. Oh man. I was so ready to be done. What's Canony? Guys, just gotta be careful. No matter what, have fun. Be careful, have fun. Canony. Canony. I was so confident. I was like, man, this is like my best work yet. As far as my handle is concerned. It. Ah, beans. There we go. That's probably better. Canony. Looks AI generated. What, canony? They misspelled my name. Fuckers. Can't believe they do that. Oh my god, that was really. Oops. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Here we go. I don't know. There we go. Unifron. Vernalis. Alright. Stick around to the very end. We usually do a bit of closing bit. We do raid after every stream, so that way the vampires in our chat can keep watching. Just everybody else out there, make sure to go lock your doors and windows. It's almost lunchtime for vampires. Thank you for joining, everybody. Hope you had a good time and you enjoyed the show. If you're able to join the live show, thank you for stopping by and chatting and watching. If you're watching this in the future, thank you for taking the time to go and back and rewatching the VOD. We appreciate it. If you're out there and you enjoyed this and you want to see more of what we're up to, I recommend scrolling down below and following or clicking any of the links. There's a link to an Instagram, a Facebook, a Twitter, and a Discord. We post when we go live on any one of those platforms, as well as anything else that we're up to, and just generally you can come hang out with the rest of the community there. Good time on the Discord. Also, there's a Blueski. Probably didn't say that. I'm trying to work it in, practicing. You can tell that I've developed a little bit of a habit, so I gotta redo it again. Speaking of which, shout out to our community there over the Discord and everyone who follows. You guys are a wonderful audience and we appreciate you. If we do anything particularly entertaining or noteworthy, feel free to clip it and share it on the internet. Just make sure to also hashtag with MCCanary or link it back to the stream. You could find more of the good stuff we do here. And as always, if you want to see the stream grow, you gotta let people know. I appreciate that people have been talking about the stream, and I encourage you guys to do it more. It does help us out. Just is really cool that you're willing to do that. So, go tell people about the stream. Go tell your friends about the stream. I won't. And as always, a huge thank you to Mo Trimp and all of our supporters on Patreon and Twitch. Your generosity allows us to continue to expand the stream as well as take on more projects, and the stream would not be made possible without viewers like you. So we thank you. If you want to see your name added to this list, as well as a couple of the benefits you can get, you could always subscribe directly on Twitch or check out the Patreon page there. It'll show you everything that you can get, and any amount is always appreciated. Once again, thank you. Well, thank you to Ahmad to do a wonderful job holding back the robot army and preventing becoming famous. And thank you everybody for coming and hanging out and watching me draw dinosaurs again. I had a great time. I'm liking this style. I think I'll stick with it. I'll probably do more size comparisons for me and maybe an eggplant. Maybe there'll always be an eggplant, even if it isn't appropriate. We'll see. But yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'll get you through housekeeping to get you on your way. Check out the rest of our friends in Goblin Entertainment here. That link tree has links to everyone's channels and everything that they've done and they've been up to, and my own stuff here. My own link tree has everything that I post to, and you can find everyone's content in both of those channels. So go check everybody out in Goblin Entertainment. Alright. We'll go say hi to John. We'll actually go say hi to John. Go say hi to him. He might be excited to see art. We'll see. So, everybody go say hi to him. Otherwise, have a good evening. Take it easy. And remember, just gotta draw dinosaurs. Just gotta draw dinosaurs. Oh, God. There we go. They did it! They did get the dinosaur in the dang thing! Now, I like that this one is a bird offering a dinosaur. I like that this one is the dinosaur in the dress. I like that this one, they like know that it's like a bird? They know it's a bird. Uh-huh. Is this what you wanted me to draw? This is what you wanted me to draw, right? This is what you wanted to see, right, Silos? This is exactly what you wanted to see. Well, congratulations.